Hi, I'm Mike, and today we're talking about pension contributions for those in their 30s, 40s and 50s. This stage of life is often very busy. We've got family, mortgages, lots going on and lots to think about. But it's also a time when those decisions you make are really important for your future. I'm here with Al to unpack all of this and work out what really matters in these peak saving years. So, Al, let's start with the basics. What do we mean by pension contributions?
Pension contributions simply are the money that you pay in, your employer pays in, and then the government tops you up through tax relief. And you can make those contributions regularly as a percentage of your salary coming out of payroll, or in addition, you can make one-off contributions.
Yeah, and that employer match, that's really important, isn't it?
So this can be a really easy win. Many employers will offer to match your contributions up to a certain level. So for example, if you're currently paying 5%, and you want to increase that to 8%, your employer may match that increase. So it's really worthwhile you looking at what your scheme employer match is and making sure to optimise that as much as possible.
So these are often thought of as peak savings years. Why are pension contributions so important in this context?
So when you get into your 30s, your salary might be a bit higher than when you first started work. So as a percentage of your salary, the contribution is higher. And then you also have time to allow that contribution to grow because retirement is still quite a few years off. And that time's really valuable.
And there's a consideration around tax here as well, isn't there? Especially around those thresholds.
Yeah, so especially if you're earning a salary at a certain threshold, you might be tipping over into a next tax bracket. It's really important to have a think about the contributions you're making, especially around the 100k mark. You might want to think about paying more into your contribution to keep you below that threshold and so save tax being paid.
Yeah, absolutely, really important considerations. So, what are the different ways that someone can pay into their pension?
So yeah, if you have an employer, your pension contributions are usually taken out as a percentage of your salary on a regular basis, so come out of your monthly pay. You do also have the option to pay additional one-off contributions, and then your scheme might offer something referred to as bonus sacrifice. So that's something to look into as well.
And it's also worth adding that if your pension's with L&G, you can make a one-off contribution via the app. And of course, it's worth considering that if your partner maybe is on a lower income or they're not working, you can make a contribution into their pension too. Al, really important question. How much should somebody be paying into their pension? I know we can't go into advice, but are there any general rules of thumb?
So yeah, I guess the first thing, and we've talked about it before, is to capture the match. So look into your scheme specific match, what your employer's offering you, and make sure to optimise that as much as possible. And then it's definitely not a case of set and forget. So regularly review the contributions you're paying in, and if it's affordable to do so, think about stepping that up over time. So for example, starting with an additional 1%. If you get a bonus, we talked about bonus sacrifice, perhaps pay a bit of that bonus into your pension. That will grow over time. But always make sure that you can afford it. You don't want to be paying into your pension when you can't afford to do so. So always make sure that you have shorter term savings before you start putting money into a pension, because obviously a pension isn't accessible until 55 at the moment, due to rise in the coming years to 57. So you need to make sure that you have your emergency savings, sort of short term liquidity ready to hand. And if you're worried about accessibility, think about paying into an ISA alongside your pension.
Yeah, some great things to think about there, both balancing the short term and the long term. And that affordability really matters. What are some of those other things that people need to watch out for?
There's a mechanism called carry forward, which allows you to look back 3 years at the contributions you've made and use those allowances that are left from those previous years. It's also worth thinking about the accessibility and affordability of any contributions made. So paying down high interest debt before paying into a pension. If you're going to make one-off contributions, it's also worth thinking through any tax or fee implications of doing so.
So, for anyone who's approaching any of these thresholds, checking the latest HMRC guidance is really important. If someone wants to explore this more deeply, what should they do next?
So a great place to start is the L&G Retirement Planner. There you can look at what you're on track for at the moment when it comes to retirement. You can also have a look and a play with the contribution levels and assess the impact a small increase might have on your retirement prospects. That's accessible through the brilliant L&G app, which also has a wealth of information when it comes to pensions and savings.
Thanks, Al. And we got more short videos coming soon to help people feel more confident about their pension decisions. Go to legalandgeneral.com/pension savings for more information.